Hi there, my name is Elizabeth and I'm a professional writing tutor at the UNT Dallas Learning Commons.
And I'm Shaylin, also a professional writing tutor. Today, we're going to talk to you about how to read and understand a scholarly article that you might use in a research paper. We'll discuss 3 strategies to help you break down, understand, and evaluate scholarly articles to use for your research papers. Before we begin, note that a scholarly article may also be referred to as a peer-reviewed article, a research article, or a research study.
Now let's talk about our first strategy. Understand how a scholarly article is organized. If you're not familiar with this type of writing, it can be really confusing. Basically, in a typical scholarly article, the authors conduct some kind of research on a particular topic.
These are the different parts of the scholarly article: the abstract, the introduction, the literature review, the methodology, the results, the discussion, and the conclusion.
Let's talk about what goes in each of these sections. The first 3 sections, abstract, introduction, and literature review, are introductory and provide background information. The methodology and results sections discuss the details of the research study performed, and the discussion and conclusion offer insights into the importance of the research study performed and where to go from there. Now let's go a little deeper.
The abstract is a short, concise summary of the whole paper that especially highlights the research focus, the results, and the conclusion.
The introduction is the why. The authors introduce the topic and explain the purpose and significance of the study. This is where you'll find the research question, hypothesis, or thesis.
Before conducting research, it's important to know what research has already been done on the topic. That's what the literature review is for. The literature review summarizes, categorizes, and makes sense of the previous research that has been done on the topic and highlights the questions remaining that the author hopes to answer in the current research study.
The methodology section explains how the research study was done, the participants, the materials, the process.
The results section shows what happened in the research study and typically includes data demonstrated in tables, charts, and graphs.
The discussion section analyzes the results and explains their significance.
The conclusion discusses final thoughts such as how the study answers the research question or hypothesis, how the study contributes to the field, any limitations to the study, and recommendations for further research.
Now that you know how a scholarly article is organized, let's discuss our second strategy. Read for the main message and don't be distracted by the technical details. Let's get real. Sometimes reading scholarly articles can be really difficult. There may be terms or concepts that you're unfamiliar with. Understanding the statistics within the data is challenging if you haven't taken a statistics course. And scholars often use academic language that can be confusing. Academia can feel like a completely different language. That's why I want to recommend to you the same thing I tell my ESL students when they read something challenging. Focus on the main message. You might not understand every word or every sentence, and that's okay. Read the scholarly article with your research question in mind and continually ask yourself, what are the main ideas of this article? Does it relate to my research? How might it fit into my research?
Our third strategy is to gain an overview of the article before reading it more in depth. This will help you focus on the main message, which helps you better understand the article when you go back to read in more depth. It's just like trying to read in a foreign language. If you already know the main message, it's easier for you to understand the smaller details and context when you read it a second time.
Gaining an overview of the article before reading it in depth also saves you time. Have you ever found an article to use as a source for your paper, but after you struggled to read it all the way through, you realized it wasn't as relevant or helpful to your research as you thought it would be? Research can be incredibly time-consuming, so it's important to learn how to quickly evaluate an article before wasting too much time on it.
Okay, so let's talk about how to gain an overview of the article without wasting too much time or getting lost in the details. This may seem obvious, but start with the title. What does the title reveal about the study? Then read the abstract because it summarizes the purpose, the focus, and the results. As you read the abstract, ask yourself, what is this article about? Is it related to my area of research? If you answer yes to that question, it's likely that this article will be relevant and useful for your research paper. You might also find it helpful to skim through the introduction, discussion, and results to get a better overview. Remember, you don't have to read a scholarly article word for word or from beginning to end. The first read through is about gaining an overview of the main message and determining if this source is worth investing the time to read it more in depth.
We hope these tips help you increase your understanding of scholarly articles. To review, here are the strategies again. Number 1, understand how a scholarly article is organized. Number 2, read for the main message and don't be distracted by the technical details. Number 3, gain an overview of the article before reading it more in depth.
If you need assistance finding scholarly articles, you can check out our short video, How to Find Scholarly Articles with the UNT Dallas Library Database, or you can ask a librarian for in-depth help. As you work through your research and writing process, remember that the Learning Commons writing tutors can assist you. Our tutors help with brainstorming and topic selection, research and citations, thesis and organization, and revising for big picture issues and for grammar. You can make an appointment and find more information by visiting our website, learning.untdallas.edu. We hope to see you soon.